Go therefore and make disciples of all nations. These are words that we have heard many, many times. And when it is said and done, this is the summary task for all of us in ministry, to lead the church in making disciples in all nations. As of the making of this video, there are more than 8 billion people on the planet. Approximately 42% of the world live in people areas or people groups in areas of the planet that have never heard the gospel. And without a doubt, the church must take the gospel to places and people where it is not fully known. But a problem arises for many pastors and leaders. Local needs are often weighed more heavily against the ones that are far away and out of sight. The tendency of human nature is to focus on ourselves and our immediate environment. Often one will hear the call to take care of one's own country first before focusing on the rest of the world. But there is always an endless list of needs at home, and the bottom line is the Great Commission is a command. Fortunately, the Great Commission isn't simply over there, but it is also right here. In today's world full of study abroad opportunities and immigration that move people across borders in both directions, our schools, workplaces, and neighborhoods are being populated with people from all nations. More than ever before, we are living in a global community, and successful leaders must have a global mindset. But what exactly is a global mindset? A global mindset is the set of individual qualities, communication skills, and actionable knowledge that empowers us to influence multicultural individuals, groups, ministries, and organizations.
Hey, Lori here. You're watching content provided by DOE1. Whether you're at the beginning of your ministry or seasoned, DOE1 is the premier location for all things ministry. Check us out at doe1.org. Now let's get back to your video.
There are 3 important dimensions that work together to create this unique mindset. First of all, intellectual capital. It is what the leader knows about global affairs and what is happening in his industry, in our case, the church around the globe. It also refers to how easy it is for global leaders to analyze, digest, and interpret this information. Second, psychological capital. This is the leader's emotional energy, the capacity for self-reflection, and a willingness to engage in a global environment. It reflects a positive and constructive attitude towards diversity of thought and action. It is the desire and ability to understand and embrace cultural differences. Third, social capital, and this refers to the leader's ability to behave in ways that help build trusting relationships with people from other parts of the world. Having a global mindset is a key to success, especially for global leaders who most often work in culturally diverse, multinational settings. These global leaders also have the power to encourage diversity and inclusion in their own congregational culture. So what can you do to improve your global leadership skills? Here is a short list of ideas that will help develop a global mindset. And throughout the remainder of the course in the following videos, we will also help you develop the tools for global leadership. Tip number 1, take the Great Commission seriously. As leaders, we should be able to identify with both the historical and the global church. To do that, we must build personal relationships with believers in other geographic areas and cultures. Commit to knowing about them, sharing their struggles, and celebrating their victories. There are many possibilities to make these connections, for example, through Church of God World Missions or other missions organizations. Traveling abroad on short-term mission trips is also a great way to make these connections. Second, be aware of news from around the world. There are plenty of reputable sources for international news on the internet. Choose websites from various countries to learn of events and different perspectives on these events. Learn to think about things from multiple perspectives. Third, develop cultural humility. Cross-cultural environments will often stretch you beyond your comfort levels. You may not be used to doing something one way, or you may be used to doing it one way, but your brothers and sisters from another part of the world may do it differently. But remember, neither way is right or wrong. They're just different. Acknowledge these differences and accept others for who they are. Perhaps you will have to suspend judgment behind a culture's customs and habits until you understand their background and values. Cultural humility requires from us the recognition of power dynamics and imbalances, and this gives us a desire to fix those power imbalances and to develop partnerships with people and groups whom we serve. Lastly, exercise spirit-filled servant leadership. What does servant leadership have to do with a global mindset? Everything. We are reminded of the words of Jesus as he explained that our practice of leadership is not to be like that of the world. It is distinctly different than the self-seeking, self-serving, and domineering style of leadership often found in the world. Christ said, "Whoever would be first among you must be the servant of all." We are also reminded of the words of Paul as he wrote to the church in Philippi, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourselves. Each of you should look not only to your own interests, but also for the interest of others." Global leaders do not lord it over those from other cultures. Leaders with hearts motivated by self-interest put their own agenda, status, and gratification ahead of others who are affected by their thoughts, decisions, and actions. Global servant leaders, on the other hand, invest in others' development and in their well-being for the benefit of the kingdom of God around the world.
Hey, Lori here. If you like what you were watching, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click on the bell to receive notifications when new content goes live. You can find content like this on DOE1, the premier location for all things ministry. See you on the next video.